And it was the only rock station during that time. So, tapos sakop mo pa yung mga probinsya, yung ano delay. So, iba rin yung si Itbulaga, napakalaki siguro, at least lunchtime nila, 30-40 million. Live yun na nanonood sila tutok. So, ang online naman, maganda rin talaga yung reach, especially if you have a channel that is dedicated to a market. Na itong channel to, puro motor, alam mo nanonood dyan, puro motor, or ito, puro kotse. So, I would say, meron siyang pros and cons. Ang kagandahan lang kasi dito sa online is may instant na credibility. Sometimes, pag may lumabas doon, tas maayos, hindi na ako dumaan sa mga nangyayari online o kailangan ko mag-appointment viewing na mag-aabang ako ng show Wednesday. I can go back to a video online anytime I want. So, may pros and cons din. Reach-wise, I would say, iba pa rin si traditional media. Basta pag TV pinag-uusapan. Kasi ilan lang channels dun eh. Yeah. Pag nahuli nila. Tapos nagtutulungan pa yung TV and YouTube. Kunyari, ABS-CBN, GMA7, meron silang YouTube channel din. Pwede mong balikan. Pero uwi rin sa TV, free TV eh. So, yun. Yes.
Sir, ask ko lang, kung sa mga baguang vlogger, okay lang ba yung iba-iba yung content sa isang page nila?
Define iba-ibang content, like nagpo-cooking show, tapos next day, nag-ulit ka ng mga bato. Oo, kasi kung yun yung channel mo, na yun, gano'n mo siya pinakita, may expectation na ako, bukas kayo gagawin na naman ito. Pwede naman. Kasi in-establish mo na, bahala kayo, itong gagawin ko bukas. Oo, bukas sa travel ako, tapos bukas, kakain ako fishbowl, 30 minutos yung ginagawa. Tapos bukas, matutulog ka lang, naka-on yung camera. There's this guy who did that. Sino ba? Aliw ako sa kanya eh. 10 minutes na ako nanonood sa kasi natin siya bumangon. Okay to matutulog lang siya. Kami na nanonood. Of course, naman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. At least alam mo
yes, sir.
Mga
question lang, dati kayong nag-bench model?
Yan natin pag-usapan. Marami tayong
halata ka ha. Kaya tanong ko lang, lalaki ba gusto mo o babae?
Babae.
Robin Padilla.
Robin Padilla.
Naka-experience ka na po na mabash po in public sa mga content niyo?
In public? Or online?
Public po ba? Kung nag-post po kayo ng isang content niyo tapos binash po yung content niyo?
Yeah. I mean, yung mga nagsumagot dun sa tungkol sa overspeeding, that was one. That was public.
Content.
Ang ginawa ko lang, sinagot ko lang naman sila eh. And then, there will always be, I wouldn't say bash, some would be highly critical. Kunyari may review, tapos bakit may some information, o bakit ito wrong spelling. Tapos, sasabihin ko, teka, nagbayad ka ba? Libre na nga ito. Puro yung angal. Mga ganun talaga. So, di mo iwasan. You cannot please everybody. There will always, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You can also look at it maybe to learn na, okay, wrong spelling nga, ayusin ko nga yan, di ba? So, yes, the answer is yes. Meron naman iba talagang walang saysay. Parang,
papansin lang.
Parang, inis na. Okay, block mo na agad. Yun na kasimple. But that should never bring it down. Yes, sir. Hindi pa naubos yung kanin mo. Namakarin yung pinapulag ko sa kanina.
Alam ko na itatanong, extra rice pa ba?
When created as a digital content.
Paano maging motivated? I think nasa individual, you can't really force that eh. Although meron mga times na meron kang bla. Parang hindi mo feel, it happens to everybody, burnout, ikama.
Minsan parang
I guess it's yung disposition mo eh. Kung paano ka, how you take care of yourself also. Are you healthy? Kung lagi kang lasinggero, that means you'll be depressed and wala kang motivation. kung lagi kang kumakain ng kanin, okay, hindi ka lang energy, diba? So, ayun, it's also how you take care of yourself eh. So, I think that's how I stay motivated. I for the longest time, I don't drink for the past 6 years, hindi ako minom. Pero nagsasabo ako. Extreme. Baka i-edit niya yan, ha? No, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Lately lang ako napainom ulit. But only beer and wine, stuff like that. Obviously, I don't do drugs. So, what you put in your body is what will, may epekto talaga yun. Kanin pa. Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Question ko would be taking off from Robin's subject, paglabas. So let's talk about damage control.
Okay.
We can't avoid sometimes na meron tayong nasabi or may mga content or may sinabi sa brand about something that's negative. What are your insights and tips you can share? How to control those things? Do you face them head on or do you just let it die away?
It depends on what the context is. Is it one talagang smear campaign job na hindi naman totoo, tapos tinitira yung product or yung pagkatao, then I think it's okay to give a brief defense to say hindi naman kaya product namin ito yung totoo, and then you give evidence, and that should suffice. Pero kunyari meron talagang nangyari, parang kunyari some scandal or hindi mo na maiwasan yung nangyari, apologize. That's what I would do. I think a good example of that would yung nangyari kay Nudge. So he was saying something and he got caught, but at the end of the day, lumabas pa rin siya nag-sorry. It's the only way to really go about it. You can't just internet pa, di ba? Lahat may camera eh. Bawat virus mo, di ba? Yeah, if it did something wrong, I guess apologize. But if it's not true, depends on, and then let it, lalabas yung magtotoo eh. Yeah.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
In terms of content, bukod sa hubaran, I think sex, drugs, and violence would usually, take first steps dun sa pagkuha ng attention.
Yes.
It's all about attention. Are there any tips on, aside from those, meron ka pa bang ibang nakikita na pwedeng makagrab ng attention? Quick, lalo na pag sa content creation, usually limited ka lang talaga sa first 10 seconds.
Yeah. It will really boil down to, apart from the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and anything yung mga dopamine, parang kape na hit na happy ka na kagad, yung ganun klaseng attention. One of the ways, like what I mentioned kanina, is really looking around what's going on, and don't do what they're all doing. Kasi if you come up with something na, bago na naman to, minsan mapapanood kayo, pag nakita ko na naman yan, ginawa na yan. So, to keep it interesting, to answer that question, that's laging ever-changing, ever-evolving, day-to-day. Gagawin ko ba itong intro nito? Ayoko na sa gawin. Or even be critical of yourself. Ako, ginawa ko na yan last month, ba't ko ulitin, di ba? I wanna do something else. So, always change, always be different. That's my advice. And then when you figure out that thing, give it 3-4 months, pag yun nauso, i-ibay mo na naman yan. Ganun talaga siya.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Any other questions? The Fat Girl. Yes. Yes, sir.
Ano po sir yung ma-recommend yung video editing app?
I use Premiere Pro. I think right now, ngayon it's a subscription based. Nasa 1,900, 2,000 a month, parang ganun.
For example, kami po yung mga aspiring content creator, kumbaga, yung mga basic.
Meron mga Kung basic, I'd stick to my phone. Kasi maraming libreng app. Sa Instagram pa lang, marami ka na magagawa. Ang ginagawa ko minsan, kunyari wala akong laptop, I will edit my first, I will edit first sa laptop sa phone ko, tapos long form, kunyari 8 minutes yung video, i-connect ko na lang siya, tapos i-upload ko na sa YouTube. Kaya ako nung okay, masano vertical, okay naman vertical.
Meron po kayo sir, ma-recommend na app for non-copyright for music sir?
Marami. You just go to YouTube and say no copyright music or free music. Yeah, madami ng lalabasan pwede mo i-download. Yung early part ng Makina, problema talaga namin yung copyright. Dati kasi walang sharing talagang we won't let your video out. Sobrang strict ng copyright niya, pati yung sarili kong banda hindi ko ma-play kasi yung label ni Are ng recorded music at hirap naman ito. Tapos meron doon ko nahanap yung mga copyright free. And maganda din, iba-ibang genre. Or kung pwede mo rin tugtugin, kung kaya mo, okay din yun. Yan hindi mo flag ni yan YouTube. Pag ikaw na nag-record. Yeah, you do your own version. Yes sir. Sir, napagkahalata na kita.
Merong
What's your number?
bawa nag-download ka ng content mo na yung music hindi copyright. Pero mga ilang months, biglang nagiging copyright.
Usually, pag ano naman, you can contest it kasi it's a time-sensitive thing. Copyright siya ngayon, pero dati hindi. At makikita naman nila yung date ng YouTube na in-upload mo last year. Tapos, dapat din usually although may mga iba, ganun nga, 8 months later, doon lang ang notification. Yung mga labels naman yun. Pero yung mga copyright na free, usually independent artists, hindi naman sila nag-aabot. Yes, ma'am. What do you delete? Pag di ka na i-edit? Okay, now if you're talking about commissioned work in the sense na yung brand and yung content creator ay hinire yung content creator to promote, masusunod si brand. Hindi kasi to review. Klaro naman it is promotion. So, doon pa lang, ang usual nangyayari is si content creator magbibigay ng draft na ito yung gagawin ko, tapos babasahin ni brand, okay yan, good idea, execute, tapos draft 1, papasa yung video, and then pagpasa ng video, papanoorin, and then may approval, and then upload. Para klaro, walang atrasan ng ano. Yes. But if it's a review, like, kunyari, walang usapan ng money, there's none of that is involved, then, pag opinion-based and editorial, walang habol naman si brand doon. Brand can just choose to not engage with, with content creator in the future, kasi either pinash or hindi maganda yung sinasabi. However, if it's a review na they're trying to find some improvement to the product, it depende kasi paano sinasabi. Like in Makina, the features in Makina, all the reviews coming out of Makina is not paid. Kasi hindi for sale yung opinion. Kasi kung bayad yung review, how will you express? So, ang business style naman ni Makina or placements, iba naman yun. Iba naman yung ad placements na tapos iba rin yung promotion, iba rin yung review. So, yung mga helmet na nakikita nyo, wala, they just send it lang. Yung mga motor, they just send it and then bahala ka na Zach. So, yun. Of course, wala naman perfect na product But if you see something wrong, you want to be constructive. Like, kunyari, value ni, let's say, ni Winner X at 131. Kung comment ko doon, sana Kasi yung iba, konti na lang, may traction control na likod. So maybe a suggestion to Honda is to add more features. See, when